y'all, watch this.
We are gonna pop the seat off, take the battery out, try to get it on charge. Battery's probably gonna have to be completely replaced. We know that. We also know that there's history with the carbs problem, so we know battery and carbs right off the bat, and we'll see what happens past that. Here's so if you're out there on YouTube land, say a prayer for me because I've never done anything like this before. All right, so basically took the battery down to AutoZone. They put it on the tester. It's dead. So I got a replacement, and I'm filling it with acid right now. Gotta give it an hour. We'll put it on a charger, and should be ready to go for tomorrow. We'll see what happens. All right, so here we are. We've picked up these supplies. This is what we're going to try to do at a first stage to get the bike running. We are going to change out the oil and the filter. We're going to do some carb spray and cleanup. We're going to change the drive shaft gear oil out, change the plugs and the air filter. Got a fresh battery, and then we're going to see if we can crank this sucker up. Alright guys, here we are. We are changing the spark plugs. Again, this is a pretty routine thing, but I did come up against one problem. Here's a tip for you. A regular 18-inch socket for a spark plug, and the outer diameter does not fit. So it's 9:30 at night. I ran all over town, finally found just a regular thin-walled deep set socket, and that barely fits through there. So you're going to need a thin walled deep set socket in order to do this. I got this at Walmart. It's by Stanley. It was like 20 bucks, no big deal. Yes, unfortunately that socket did not fit, and I had to go to Walmart at like 9:30 at night, and I'm dying to get these plugs in and get everything done so I can try to turn this thing over. And I feel like I got a confession to make at this point, because while I was there, I got a king-size Hershey bar, and I ate the whole thing before I even got home. Now I got to get rid of this wrapper, get rid of the evidence. So it's about 3 o'clock, getting ready to take on getting these carbs out of here, and man, I'm kind of, let me lay hands on this thing, say a prayer, because I've never done it before, and watch a couple YouTube videos, and I'm gonna go for it. So we'll keep you posted on how long it takes and how it goes. It's 30 minutes later. 30 minutes, not bad. Got the carburetor off. I just followed the YouTube video step by step, and there it is. It's pretty gunked up. It was so gunked up, in fact, the choke cables would not even come out. I had to like spray some carb cleaner in the choke connector just to get the choke cable out. So I think it's going to be a doozy of a cleanup. About 30 minutes to get it apart. I was always good at taking things apart. Part I'm worried about is getting it back together. Alright, I'll let you guys know how long it takes to break it down and then clean it up. Here we are with my friend Rick Cleveland. He came over tonight. He helped me put the carburetor back on. We cleaned it up, put it back on. So we're going to see if we can start it. We just started, it ran a minute. So we're going to see if we can run it for a second, see what happens. Yay! It's running, it's not idling, so we'll probably have to sync the carburetors, or maybe set the idle. But I would say I started at about 3 o'clock. It's about 9:30. So we were able to take the carburetor off, completely clean it out, put it back on, and get the bike started in, what is that, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 6.5 hours.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Not bad for a rookie who's never done it.
Amen.
Cool. Alright, so this is the next day. Treating the tank for calcification and rust. A friend of mine told me to pour a bottle of this
and fill the tank with water and this and let it set for 24 hours and then flush it out real good and then use some dry gas to dry it out. So that should take care of all the rust or anything that, sediments or anything that might be left over in the tank. Got the tank back on, got everything cleaned up, got the carb cleaned. Basically, other than screwing this light back on here and one little fix I've got to do, this thing's ready for sale. Got to fire this up, let it get warmed up, and try to take it for a test ride.
All right, so I just fired it up, got it up to temperature. The low-speed idle's definitely messed up. I had my neighbor Bob come over, he took a look, and it appears that I missed a couple of the jets when I was cleaning the carb. I didn't realize that you had to drill out a couple of little covers, and some low-speed jets are behind there. And I missed those, so I'm going to have to try to do that. I think I can do it, though, without taking it off the bike. It's going to be a little bit of a, probably an hour or two penalty box thing for me. But, hey, first time, you know, you got to take your lump, so. All right, here we are today. It's time to talk about rookie mistakes. Got a couple of them to talk to you about. Number one, when I was taking off the carburetor, it was really gunked up, and I broke the pin that goes at the end of the choke cable, which I'll illustrate here. Thought it would be no big deal. Turns out that little pin comes with an assembly, and the assembly costs $60. That was mistake number one. That part's on the way. I have it redneck rigged right now until the part gets here.
So, had some drama, drilled out the wrong stuff, got it running, it's warming up, and I'm going to try to take it for its first ride. We'll see what happens, okay? I'll let you know. The newest unfolding in this saga is the carb's working great, the bike's running great, and I wanted to show you what happened. It's not a good thing. It looks like I'm going to have to pull these carbs back off. You can see down here, unfortunately, evidently one of my floats are stuck in the open position. I've talked to a couple mechanics and everyone seems to think that I've got a float stuck in the open position, and that's why I've got overflow gas coming out, which really stinks because the bike's running great. So off with the tank, off with the seat, and I got to redo the carburetor again.
All right, so here we are. More bad news. Carburetor's still leaking. I've had the thing off the bike twice. Over my head. I guess it's time to call in the cavalry. I've found a great guy down on US 1. His name is Rob. He's from Precision Motorcycles, and he agreed to help a poor sucker out. And so I got to pull this carburetor off again. See, I got the tank off right there. Gonna pull that car back out, take it down there, and hopefully we'll get this thing squared away.